So suicide is when a person decides to end their life according to their own choosing. Euthanasia is sometimes called assisted suicide, and that's when a person wants to involve the medical profession to help them choose to end their life.
I think it's very important to distinguish between two types of euthanasia, which are sometimes talked about. So-called passive euthanasia, which is allowing someone to die who is dying. An example of that might be somebody who is very elderly, perhaps very frail, and then develops some further complication like a dreadful chest infection and pneumonia, or has a cardiac arrest, and not treating that person, that situation, but if you like, allowing nature to take its course. That's what we term passive euthanasia, and there's a big difference between that, I believe, and what we would call active euthanasia, which is deliberately taking a patient's life.
Well, euthanasia and assisted dying are two of the major issues that we work on at CARE. Assisted dying and euthanasia are illegal in the United Kingdom, and we believe that the law should be preserved as it is for the good of all people in this country. A lot of what CARE does is seeking to protect those on the margins of society, so the elderly, the sick, the disabled. We believe that all life is created by God, and therefore all life has enormous value and dignity.
As a medical professional, I'd find it difficult to be involved in euthanasia, as so much of my work is involved in preserving people's health and trying to improve people's health and quality of life, and then to be asked to terminate someone's life when I believe that their quality of life could be improved, and also to be somewhat forced to do that, I'd find very difficult.
I think the Bible is very clear from the opening chapters in the book of Genesis that all life is created by God, and therefore all life has enormous value and dignity and tremendous meaning, regardless of the stage it's at, regardless of the difficulties and hardships that a certain person may suffer. We also think that because life is created by God, it is only God's right to take away. We also believe as Christians that we have a responsibility to get alongside people in their most difficult moments, to support them, to offer comfort to them, to offer advice, to show them that life has meaning, that life has purpose, whatever stage they're at and whatever hardships they may be encountering.
Another area which is perhaps linked with euthanasia is what's sometimes called the double effect. Some patients who are terminally ill are treated with painkillers, and it is acknowledged that treating the pain may hasten death. I think it is right that the doctor should treat the symptoms in such situation, and I think if death is hastened slightly in such circumstances, I don't believe that to be wrong. We are talking in those situations of a patient who is very close to death, and we are trying to be compassionate and treating a distressing symptom rather than expressly trying to kill a patient, which I think is a grey line or a fine line, but it's one which I would want to keep on this side of